Okay, so factoring quadratics. Quadratics, sometimes this would be degree 2. Sometimes you may remember the word parabola. But we're going to quadratics for now. Okay? And I do have a flow chart that goes for factoring. And the first one is greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. The second one is pairs are patterns, which is actually for next class, right? We're only doing some of these today. And 3, it goes in order. First, you do this, then you do this, then you do this. Okay, trinomials. Ax squared, bx plus c. They are 3 terms, and they are quadratic. They're quadratic because the degree starts at 2, and then it's a 1, and then it's none. Okay. Yeah, there's just, 4. Grouping. Grouping is when you have 4 terms, because it's a number 4 in front. Okay? It's typically still yeah, I realize that the middle 2 terms are like terms. They don't always have to be. Ax cubed plus bx squared. Grouping is for when you have 4 terms. Or you have multiple letters and things aren't always combined to be a trinomial. Okay? We are going to focus on 1 and 3 today. That's where we're going to focus. Before we are done, you will be able to factor a bunch of different ways. Okay, so greatest common factor. Monomial, common to every term in the expression. Okay. Example. Okay. 6x squared y squared minus 15 x y squared. Okay, that's my expression. It's not even a trinomial. Doesn't matter. Okay? A greatest common factor is what's common to both terms, numbers and letters. It's common to 6 and 15. You can just say it. 3. Okay, 3. X squared and x. What's common? X. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Y squared. Great. What's left? That's it. Why is it a number 1 on my list? You have to do it first. All right. No, I'm not going to. Just curious. Okay. Number 3. Here we go, guys. This is where it gets good.
Wait, what about number 2?
Yeah, 2 is for next class. Pairs and patterns. Nope. I need you to have more practice with trinomials because patterns are actually easier than trinomials. So we're going to start with the harder stuff. Okay, here we go. 3x squared plus 8x plus 5. Now I am starting with smaller numbers. Okay? They will get a little bit bigger. And I'm going to show you 2 choices. Most of you recall that I need to pick a number that multiplies to 15 and adds to 8. Maybe you do the X, maybe you do a box, I don't know, but you pick numbers that multiply to 15 and add to 8. 5 and 3. Okay. 3x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 8. This is actually grouping because if you notice, there's now 4 terms. So I'm going to take my grouping. I'm just going to split it right down the middle.
Where'd you get the 8 from? On that
Oh, it's supposed to be a 5. 5. Thank you. Okay, 5. Okay, so all I did is I split it down the middle. And that's just a visual to help me group my terms. I grouped the first 2, I grouped the second 2. What's the GCF on the first pair? X. What's left? 3x plus 5. Okay, what's the GCF on the second pair? Nothing, so we use a 1. Use a 1. There's nothing common between 3x and 5, and so you use a 1. Parentheses. Okay. GCF again. Do you see a common parentheses here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pull that out in front. GCFs always come in front. It's okay that your GCF is the parentheses. Just bring it to the front. This is the same in both groups. I now have 2 groups. I have this group here and this group here. GCF again. Okay, and you ask, why am I only writing this once? What's left? You don't need a bracket. I just like to show you a bracket so you can differentiate where I'm pulling the pieces from. Can you foil that for me real quick? Just as like a little check. Just foil it. See what happens. Okay, it works. And our directions are to factor. This is called grouping. This is probably where the majority of you will be for right now because this is what you should have seen. I hope. Unless you did that Swedish fish thing. So let's go over the steps. What did I do? First, I picked my numbers. Everybody does the multiply add numbers. It doesn't matter what method of factoring you are taught. Everybody figures out what multiplies to this and adds to the middle term. Okay? First, you pick your numbers. Second, we split it. I split it up into 4 terms. Notice how it's the middle. The 8x is what's splitting. Third, GCF. I'm just going to write it 3 times because I did GCF 3 times. First group, second group, third time. You do GCF 3 times. And then you have your answer. Okay? So GCF, GCF, and then we do call it the binomial GCF, right? It's that step right here where I pull out the 3x plus 5. And then you have your answer, which I checked by factoring. Yes. Okay. It's kind of slow. I agree. Before we're done with learning our factoring, I expect you, this is like a level 2 right here. Okay? There is an easier way. It's just a little bit harder. Right? It's harder to do because it takes more mental focus. This is a procedure. You guys are very good at following procedures. First, second, third, fourth. The other way has a little bit more reasoning to it. It is easier, but the reasoning is harder. So, here's what we're going to do. You're going to write the problem down again. And I'm going to do it the other method. Okay. I really have to keep in mind, what do factors do? Foiling, we multiply and we add common terms together. I want you to put a set of parentheses, leave a little space underneath of it. I know that a trinomial factors to this. Underneath the 3, I would like you to write down the numbers that multiply to 3. It's just 1 and 3. Right? There's only one choice. It's a prime number. Second, underneath 5, I would like you to write down the numbers that multiply to 5. It is also a prime number. Okay, think about what factoring and multiplying does. What does my first have to multiply to? 3x squared. How many ways can you multiply to get 3x squared? One way. Okay, so I would like you to put down your choices here. 3x and 1x. There is only one way to multiply to get 3x squared. Now, write down another set of parentheses here and copy this down. Once you get good at this, you stop writing all these choices down and you do the choices in your head. Okay? Now, how do I multiply to get 5? Okay, so I'm doing it in a different color because I want you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to try it both ways. This is called strategic guess and check. I have a system. I'm not just throwing numbers down. Okay? I'm trying to systematically go through all the possibilities, which there's only 2 of them, and I'm going to check to see which one works. Okay, I expect you to be able to FOIL and combine terms in your head. First, yes, outer. 15 and 1. 15 and 1 do not get me 8. Okay, you see that? 15x and 1x. Do not get me 8. That means that this is not the answer. Nope, I tried it. It doesn't work. Yes, guess and check, but it is strategic. I have a method. Second choice, 3x squared. Yes. 3x and 5x. Oh, there it is. 3x and 5x. 5. Okay, now you have to be careful with your plus minuses. Obviously, plus plus, I need them to both be positive. That is my answer. Now, this is as easy as it gets because both of those numbers were prime. There was not a lot of choices. Okay, so I'm going to do one that has a couple more choices and show you how to systematically go through the choices and eliminate the ones that don't work. Okay. Just another example. All right. Okay. 5x squared. Okay. Plus 16x plus 12. Notice here that if you were going to do grouping, your number would be 60. 60 is still relatively small. Grouping could work very easily. Okay? I'm going to do it the other way because, one, if you can do this, it's faster. Grouping is slow. There's a lot of steps you have to write down. It's very easy to mess up your pluses and minuses. Okay, 1 and 5. 1 and 12. 2 and 6. 3 and 4. You're like, okay. Couple more choices in this one. So I'm going to write down my parentheses. And I do have a prime number, so I'm going to start by placing the limited number of choices here. 1x and 5x. It does not matter which one has the 1 and which one has the 5. All right? Try the other choices. Okay, so 1 and 12. And I don't want to rewrite it. I have to try them in both orders. 12 and 5. No, right? 12 and 5, no. 1 and 60, no. I'm keeping track of what I'm trying. I'm not just guessing. I'm keeping track so that I can eliminate things that don't work. Next, I have to try 2 and 6. 6 and 10. I'm not even writing them down now. You see that? 6 and 10. Those are your numbers. Okay, so 1x and 5x. I need to get 6 and 10. Just going to write my numbers here. I need to get 6 and 10, add to 16. Okay, check it. 5x squared. Systematic. The more you practice systematically going through your choices, the faster you get. Prime numbers make it significantly easier. Okay, last one. Let's be really interesting. And I like this one because not many of you want to multiply 4 and 36 together. I mean, you can. Right? Grouping is slow. Because if I was doing grouping, I would first have to multiply 36 and 4 with no calculator, guys. There's no calculator for factoring. And then I'd have to figure out what are the factors of 144 that add to 45. It's like brute force. It is not very fast, okay? And those numbers are not very big. So now we're going to try to do it this way. Notice that first, you can all write down the factors of these numbers without thinking too hard. 2. You should know these times tables. All right. My suggestion is to just write down, right? This list is obviously much shorter. You can just write it down and then go through the other list. Okay? Okay. 36 and 4. No. 1 and giant number. No. I'm trying to get to 45, guys. Right? I'm trying to get to 45. Next. Okay. 2 and 18. Okay. 18 and 8. Nope. 2 and way more than 40. I'm multiplying. I'm doing my outer and my inner terms. I'm foiling. I'm checking the foil here. 40, 60. 2 and 60. No. Okay, let's try 3 and 12. It's longer for me to show you what I'm thinking than for you to think it. 3 and 48. 3 and 48. Okay, notice that I subtracted because look at my signs. I'm going to have a negative. Okay, let's place them. I need 3 and 48. So I'm writing the numbers here just to help me. Okay. So 1x and 4x, I need to get, so look what I'm circling. I need to use 3 and 12. I need to have a positive 48 and a minus 3. Can you do grouping? Yes. It's kind of slow. And this starts out slow until you practice it.